So what if we talked a little bit about game collecting today? And greetings YouTube gamers, welcome to another episode of Retro Radar. My name is Johnny Retro and welcome back to the channel. So lately I've been spending some time here on my game room, and here's the thing guys, even though I don't play that much on the original hardware these days, you know, when it comes to retro gaming, I still love to collect vintage video games, even though I'm more selective these days and I'm not after everything, and I've always said this here on my channel. There is no right or wrong way to collect. There is no wrong or right collection. Each collection is a different collection. Of course that the passion is there, but you know, some people go after games, you know, to play on the original hardware. Other people are after full sets. Some people just collect 2D games. Some people just collect PC games. Me personally, I'm looking after games that I used to play back when I was a kid and I didn't have the chance or the means to buy them back then, and of course games that I discovered throughout the years. And you know, for me it's all about having that physical representation, you know, to have the official thing. And believe it or not guys, even though I use a lot of emulation, especially thanks to the mini consoles, sometimes I enjoy the game so much that encourages me to buy the original thing, to buy the original physical release. And going back, like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm very selective these days, but you know, the other day I was, you know, looking at my collection and I thought to myself, well, is there any system, any library that I still want to collect for, but I still haven't started to collect for? That is exactly what I have for you guys today. Today I'm going to share with you guys 3 systems or 3 gaming libraries that I still haven't collected for, or I barely started to collect for, but I really want to build a collection of it. However guys, if you're new on the channel, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss a thing. Okay, so let's go on with the video and check out 3 gaming libraries that I still haven't started to collect for, but I want to, right after this. Okay, let's start with number 1, and this is no secret, I am a fan of Sega. My favorite Sega console, and without a doubt one of my favorite consoles of all time, is of course the Sega Mega Drive. And even though Sega is not what it used to be back in the 90s, the truth is that Sega is still strong in the gaming industry, and it still presents us with some amazing software, amazing games. But when it comes to hardware, for me it has always been about the Mega Drive. Again, I love the system, I love 16-bit, I love the 4th generation of video game consoles, and you know, for me the Mega Drive it's a masterpiece. It's a paradise for 16-bit gaming. And moving forward to the 32-bit and the 5th and 6th generation of video game consoles, you know, I grew up with Sony, I grew up with the PS1. And I do own a Sega Saturn, but for example, I don't own a Dreamcast. And nothing against the Dreamcast, but the Dreamcast is not the Sega system that I want to start to collect for. The system, or the add-on, because it's what it is an add-on. The add-on that I still don't own, and I would love to own one and start to collect for, is the Sega 32X. Of course that I own a Mega Drive, I have a fairly large collection of Mega Drive and Genesis games, I also own the Mega CD, but I don't own the 32X. And the collecting side of it, I mean, it is not a super rare add-on, but it surely isn't cheap to collect for. And when it was released, I mean, probably it wasn't the smartest marketing choice by Sega back in the day, but you know, taking into account that the Sega Saturn was already on the horizon. As a matter of fact, I think that the 32X was released, you know, just a couple of weeks before the Sega Saturn in Japan. And even though Sega was at its prime, I mean, there was a lot going on. I mean, the Game Gear, the Sega Nomad in North America, again, the Sega Saturn on its way, and you know, the Mega Drive was still being supported. And I think that Sega thought that the 32X was going to be the future, you know, the future of 3D gaming. And it surely wasn't. And the Sega Saturn is a proof of that, because it is an amazing 3D system. But nowadays, that really fascinates me, you know, the 32X. And the Mega Drive, I mean, this system, it's like a transformer. I mean, you have so many add-ons for it, and you expand the library and the capabilities of the system so much with these add-ons. And maybe because it was my generation, I am a fan and I'm really fascinated about early 3D stuff. So I never really fully experienced the full potential of the 32X. Of course that I've already played on the system because I have a couple of friends that have it, and of course in gaming events. And about the software, the games, of course, I played them on emulation, but, you know, it is not the same thing. And there are indeed a couple of 32X titles that I would love to own on my collection. Probably the most wanted one for me would be Knuckles Chaotix. Not the cheapest game to get, especially if you're starting out a 32X collection, I know that, but you know, it is what it is, and it's part of collecting. And just one last thing that really fascinates me about this add-on is that even though it is an add-on, at the same time it has a library of its own, and you know, nowadays to me that is fascinating. And yeah, that collector side of me, I would like to finish this beautiful family. You know, I have the Mega CD, and I would love to own the 32X. So the 32X is my number one. Number two, and this is another Sega system, and I'm going to cheat a little bit because I have already started a collection of this system, but I don't have many games. And as a matter of fact, I still don't own the machine. I didn't grow up with 8-bit gaming. I mean, 8-bit computers, the NES, I didn't grow up with that. But again, as a collector, as a gamer, as somebody that it's fascinated about the history of video games, of course that I own a couple of 8-bit systems, but I don't own this one, and it is the Sega Master System. And I really don't know why, but it's curious, even though in the 90s I was more focused on the Mega Drive, you know, compared to the Super Nintendo, for example. As a matter of fact, I only had one friend with the Super Nintendo. My other friends, they all had the Mega Drive. And when it comes to 8-bit home consoles, I'm just a huge fan of the NES. And I've been collecting for the NES for about 10 years, more or less. And not only here in Portugal, but especially in Portugal, I mean, the Master System was a huge success. And nowadays, it's actually easier to get Master System games than NES games, at least for a decent price. So yeah, it might sound a little bit of a contradiction, but I never really got into the Master System. But I think that I've been missing a lot. That I've been missing a lot of great games. Let me just show you what I have, and this is my entire Master System collection, only 5 games. So first of all, I have Aztec Adventure, I have Shadow of the Beast, next we have Speedball, Time Soldiers, and last but not least, and I love this game, The Ninja. And I really enjoy these games, I think they're beautiful, and I mean, when it comes to 8-bit graphics, I mean, the Master System is just beautiful. I also love the cartridges, I love the box, I mean, I love the box art of these games, and these are all completed in box, by the way. It's very retro, it's very 80s, and yeah, it is very appealing. So like I said, I don't own a Master System, but I own this. This is the 3-in-1 adapter by Hyperkin. Originally released for the Retron 5, we can play Game Gear, Master System, and Master System cards right here with this add-on. But the truth is that, and a lot of people don't know this, but you can actually use this on a original Mega Drive and Genesis. And 3 years ago I did a full video about that, and if you want to check out that video, I will leave a link down below for you guys to check it out. But like I was saying, no Master System. I still don't own an original Master System. The Master System 2, for example, it is probably the most popular one. I really don't care that much about that version. I would just love to get my hands on a first model Master System, because with that, again, I can play both Master System and Sega Hue cards, or even the Sega Master System 3 by Tectoy. I think that version was only released here in Portugal and in Brazil, of course. But what makes the system is its library, and yeah, like I said, I've been missing a lot of great games on the Master System. The Sonic games, for example, the Sonic games on the Master System are different than the Sonic games on the Mega Drive. And that happened with a lot of games and a lot of franchise, because the versions that you would get on the Master System, usually, they were not ports, they were brand new games. And of course, you guys know me as a huge fan of RPGs. I know that there's a lot of great RPGs on the Master System that, to be honest, I never played them. Games like Golvelius, the original Phantasy Star, Golden Axe Warrior, which is kind of a rare game. It is kind of a Zelda clone, but in the Golden Axe universe. Yeah, games in which I heard a lot of good things about. I've watched a lot of gameplays, I watched a lot of reviews, and again, I never played it, but I would love to. So that's why I still don't own a Master System, but I definitely want to start a Master System collection. So Master System, number 2. Okay, last but not least, and this is probably going to surprise a lot of you guys, but here's the thing. I am not a big PC gamer, as you guys know. I love the ZX Spectrum, I play a couple of games on my PC, especially World of Warcraft, and that's pretty much it. But early on this year, my good friend David from Deckard Games, this guy, he offered me a Pentium 3 Windows 98 PC. And what can I say, I really fell in love with that machine. And even though I can get all of these libraries, all of these games, DOS games, Windows 95, Windows 98, I can get all of these libraries for free on emulation, or even get them on Steam, and they're not that expensive to get on my modern PC. I mean, the truth is that since I got this PC, this machine, it's different, you know. Playing these games on a original, you know, Pentium 3, it's, I don't know, the feel of it, I really can't explain it, but it does feel different. And not only David got me the PC, but he also got me this big box version of Theme Hospital. Without a doubt, one of the most iconic PC games of all time. Probably one of the best simulation games of all time. And David's channel, I mean, he focused a lot in these old school vintage PC gaming stuff. And David is not the only one to blame, because Pedro from It's a Pixel Thing, this guy also makes some incredible content of vintage PC gaming. And I've been watching a lot of these guys' content, and that got me into the old videos of LGR. And some of those videos I never watched, and others I've watched, but it has been years since the last time I watched them, and this is what really inspired me. It's these editions, these big box editions, and sorry for the glare, guys, because nowadays this is what you have, guys. This is a deluxe edition of Kingdom Hearts 3 for the PS4. I got this because it's my favorite franchise of all time, and because it is a beautiful deluxe / collector's edition, but it's way more expensive, of course, compared to the standard edition. But back in the day, I mean, Secret 2 is a bad example because this is actually a collector's edition, but let me give you guys another example. Dracula Resurrection for PC. This box right here, this big box, and the contents in it, this is not a collector's edition. Back in the day, this was the release for PC. Another example that I have right here, this is Darkstone Evil Reigns, and you guys know this is one of my favorite video games of all time. A lot of goodies in here, let me show you guys. Strong and sturdy cardboard box, thick manual, of course, the game. And yeah, these 4 big box PC games is all I have. But as a collector, as somebody that loves deluxe editions and collector's editions and whatnot, I've looked into a lot of these guys' videos and into these guys' collections. And they have so much stuff, I mean, so much cool stuff with these big box releases. Some of these games came with patches, soundtracks, guides, stickers, and again, these are no collector's editions. This was the thing, this was the standard edition, this is what you would get. So the more I explored the beautiful world of vintage PC, and DOS gaming, Windows 95, Windows 98, the more I get into these games, the more I want to learn, and the more I want to play them. And what can I say, I'm starting to get that little bug inside me, and I really want to get into big box PC gaming collecting. And by the way, guys, I will leave the links of Deckard Games and It's a Pixel Thing channels down below for you guys to check it out, and please subscribe to their channels because they're really awesome. And there you go, guys, this was the video. It was kind of a long video, you know, a rambling video, but I really wanted to share this with you. And please let me know about you guys, because, you know, as a community, I really want to see other collections, other interests, you know, what motivates people to collect, you know, for a certain system, or a certain genre, or a certain library. And yeah, even though we all have our different favorites, I think that each collection is a different collection because, you know, these games are attached to memories and to stories, of course. So I would like to hear from you guys. Let me know down below what systems or gaming libraries you still haven't jumped into, but you want to start to collect for. And last but not least, please help me out, guys. You know, leave me a couple of suggestions of games that I should get for the Master System, and cool big box PC gaming editions, and of course, what games should I get for an upcoming 32X collection. So please let me know down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to put a like on this video, please subscribe to the channel, and take care of yourselves, take care of the gaming community, and game a lot.